It happened on an ordinary street. I was locking my car when a boy, 15, maybe 16, approached me. His face was sharp, his eyes uncertain. But it wasn't his features that froze me. It was the word that slipped from his mouth. Dad? My hand stopped on the door handle. My body locked. The world narrowed until only his voice echoed in my skull. He swallowed, glanced at the ground. I think, "You're my father." A cold tremor moved through me. My wife's voice, years ago, replayed in my head. He didn't survive. I'm sorry. He never took a breath. 15 years I carried that coffin in my chest. 15 years I mourned a ghost. Now the ghost stood breathing before me. I drove home with his words stabbing at me. My son, alive, not dead. When I confronted him gently, he told me pieces. A name, a figure. $57,000. That was what she sold him for. Sold. The word burned. I thought back to that night, her tears, the sterile hospital light, the way she clutched my hand and whispered apologies. I buried my grief in silence. I let her hold the narrative. She had controlled it so perfectly I never questioned, until today. That evening she set the table as if nothing had shifted. Her smile was polished, her hands steady. But I watched differently now. I studied the tremor beneath her calm. She knew. And suddenly every late night, every quiet phone call, every unexplained deposit made sense. My wife hadn't lost a child, she had sold one. I didn't accuse, not yet. Instead, I built a case, quietly, methodically. First, DNA. The boy's cheek swab sent off with my own. I told him it was for school records, my voice steady, my hands betraying nothing. He trusted me. Then, hospital records, archived files, signatures, shifts, a missing nurse, a falsified death certificate, a paper trail that stank of bribes and secrecy, and her bank records, hidden accounts, transactions 15 years old, 57,000, clean, precise, damning. At dinner, I smiled across the table. She poured wine, spoke of neighbors, vacations, the future. I nodded, but inside I cataloged every lie that dripped from her tongue. I became two people, the calm husband and the man counting down the seconds to revelation. The days stretched, heavy with silence. Nights became rehearsals in my head. How I would look at her, what I would say. I let her live her lie a little longer. It made the betrayal sharper. The DNA results arrived on a gray morning. Positive. 99.9%. He was mine. I waited until evening. I set the folder on the table between us. No words, just paper. She glanced, then froze. Her fork clattered against porcelain. Her lips parted. A faint gasp. She tried to speak, but nothing came. Finally, she whispered, "You don't understand." I leaned back, calm. My voice cut through her stammer. "I understand perfectly. You didn't lose him, you sold him." The silence pressed down like a stone. Her face collapsed into tears, but I felt nothing, only clarity. I placed the second folder beside the first. Bank statements, transfers, the sum circled in red ink. Her eyes darted over the pages. She shook her head. "Please," I interrupted. "You traded blood for money. You made me bury a child who wasn't dead." Her hands trembled. She reached for me, desperate. I didn't move. I said quietly, "He knows the truth now, and soon, so will everyone else." The power shifted in that moment. She was no longer my wife. She was an exposed fraud, stripped bare under the weight of evidence. I didn't shout. I didn't rage. My calmness destroyed her more than anger ever could. That night, I sat alone in the dark. No drink, no distraction, just silence. I thought about the boy, my son. 15 years stolen, traded for a price. He would never know the father I should have been, but he would know the truth. She would live with her ruin. Every friend, every relative, every glance at her reflection would remind her. The lie she built had collapsed, and I was the one who pushed the first stone. I felt no pity, no forgiveness, only release. The past had been buried under a false grave. Tonight, I dug it up and left her standing in the wreckage. I had mourned a child that never died. Now she would mourn the life she thought she owned. And I, finally, would sleep.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.